Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Joe Cortez, and
I'm his co-host, Shelly Stevens.
All right.
Nice to be back again. Yeah.
Okay, great. Anyway, viewers out there, Shelly's been a great co-host with me for over a year now. We're having a good time. One thing about Shelly and I, we have the 1-2 punch. We like to talk to people about good things in life, being kind and generous with everybody. And Shelly, you've been out there doing a lot with the seniors, huh?
Yes, we play at the retirement homes here in Vegas, and just to watch them cheer up when we come in and we start playing music.
When you say we,
I'm talking about me and my husband, Wesley.
There
That's
you go.
right.
Okay.
Everybody knows by now we're called Twice as Nice. Matter of fact, he's here in the studio with us today.
Yeah.
And so I just love to see people light up through music, and when I see those people, they will get up out of their wheelchairs and start doing the jitterbug if we're playing Boogie Boogie Bugle Boy, and it's just, it warms my heart.
Well, that's what we like to see, people to be happy out there.
Yes.
Because, our days are numbered. So we know we got to share our love, kindness with everybody, and show them that we care about them. Our thing is about helping people out there.
Yeah.
Get them on the right track. If they need some help, we reach out to them and get them started, right?
Sure do.
Back in the days when I was growing up in New York, my mother, I was raised with a single parent. My mother, had my brother Ralphie, Michael, Richie, myself. She raised us by herself. One day she's always told us, you gotta have to be very respectful to the people. No cussing, no fights, and I said, all right. And she said, we gotta wear a tie. We dress all the time. And maybe that's why I always wear a tie. Wherever I go, I wear a tie. But maybe that's because my mother was trying to teach me to do things the right way. And that's the best way, we have to get out there and try to help out with these youngsters out there. These youngsters today, all they do is on the computer or playing their games. And that's okay to some extent, but sometimes they overdo it. And then they get brainwashed into doing these shootings and whatnot on the games.
Yeah.
And that can have, I think personally, that has an effect on individuals that are growing up, and they can get a gun and shoot people in real life.
Yeah.
And, I think they too much with that game stuff. It's okay, but maybe cut it down to maybe 2 or 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
But you guys are there 4 or 5 hours a day practicing these games and whatnot. It's okay, but with today's social media, modern day technology, all these games they have out there.
I know, it's crazy.
They have these kids out there.
I know. I just heard today on the news that Facebook was found guilty of, whatever they did to promote the kids to watch it so much. So many kids were committing suicide. Yeah. I'm like, really? From Facebook? Like, we never had that kind of stuff growing up.
Well, we didn't have it growing up, but, cause we were lucky because what we do, we were roller skating and playing stickball.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing stickball in the street.
That's right, till the street lights came on and you had to be back in hell.
Skating, making little scooters
Yes.
with wooden boxes, containers. We had the bottled milk. We take those cases. We would put another 2x4 on the bottom and the handles, and we go with roller skates. We put wheels in the back, wheels in the front, and that's what we play with.
Yep.
Playing basketball, we played a hoop in front of a store. And we played punch ball. I mean, stuff that we did. The kids today said, "What the hell is that?" They never heard of that. Yeah, but that's how we used to get by. But then I got into boxing when I was 15 years old. My brother Mike started first. He used to come home with a couple of trophies, nice little trophies, gold trophy, something like this. He'd come home and say, "Look at this, Joe. I got another trophy." He got me so jealous. He said, "Come on out to the gym." I said, I can't do that. Mommy doesn't want me to fight because I fell off a wall and I broke my jaw on both sides.
Oh, my
I was in the hospital for a month. And my mother said, "No, you can't. Mike is fighting, but you can't because you got a weak chin." And you know what? Maybe that helped me because I didn't want to get hit on my chin.
Yeah.
But maybe it made my jaw stronger because I never got dry. I never hit the canvas in my whole career. I'm a short pro.
Wow.
Never hit the canvas. I never got hurt, never got cut, maybe because I didn't want to get hit. I had they had put a bridge on me because I lost 2 teeth in the front and one in the bottom. Then I got permanent bridge. And, I was 12, 13 years old. Then I got one later when I was about 16, 17. I got a permanent bridge put in, and I was afraid of getting hit, so I was constantly moving. I didn't want to get hit, that's why I never got hurt.
Oh, my goodness.
It was a blessing in disguise. But I'm still out there doing my thing. I love to helping with the seniors. You and I, we do our show here. It's because we're trying to share our knowledge of wisdom with everybody out there.
Yes.
Showing them. Now have kids if you only have a daughter who's a scientist?
Yes. Actually, yeah, she's very smart. I
She's a
remember
scientist. Is she an astronaut or what?
No, she just makes vaccines and things like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe she would be an astronaut.
No, I hope not. She needs to stay right here on Earth.
So she does the inventions with the different medications and with a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah. She works with a company called Merck.
Merck, yeah.
Yeah, which is
so
in Pennsylvania.
She's doing all these medications and whatnot to keep us healthy, yeah?
Yeah, she has to wear like an astronaut suit and everything sometimes, but then she got promoted and now she's like one of the directors, and she's moving on up so she doesn't have to wear the white suit anymore. She's so happy.
She's like a big time executive now.
Yeah, she's big time now.
That's good. Well, we had on the show here 2 years ago.
That's right, yeah.
On the show, she was very kind. You got 3 grandchildren with her?
Yes.
I saw a picture of your little boy the other day.
Yeah, my littlest one.
He got a cast on his arm.
He broke his arm because he's always jumping around and he was on a trampoline.
He got it painted in green, right?
Yeah.
Is he part Irish?
Well, he wanted to be some kind of superhero. I don't know, but hopefully we'll get to see him this summer, when the weather's better on the East Coast. It's hot here. That's for sure.
Well, I'll be going up there in April.
That's right. You're going to New York, right, for another Hall of Fame award?
I'm going up there April 18th.
Yeah.
And come back on the 20th. Wow. In a couple of, maybe if I decide, maybe I can change my day, stay a little longer. Because that's my stomping ground, New York.
That's right.
Born and raised in New York, Spanish Harlem.
Yeah.
And Spanish Harlem was a place we used to play stickball, we did the boxing, played baseball. We used to go running around Central Park. They had the reservoir in Central Park, New York. We'd run around that in the morning for training every day. 5 o'clock in the morning, we'd be out of bed, go training. That's part of our training, getting ourselves ready. Because I always say, you got to be in condition. You can be the best fighter in the world, but if you have no condition, you're not going to win. So conditioning force is very important.
Yeah.
Gaspar Indian Ortega was a welterweight back in those days. He's the one that got me started in boxing, my brother Mike and I. And but Gaspar Ortega was a great fighter. Gaspar had 176 professional fights.
Wow.
Yeah, and he fought for the title against Emil Griffith when he was already 80 fights under his belt. They would give him a shot at the title when he was young because he beat Benny Kid Perret. Benny Kid Perret was world champion, but Perret fought Gaspar for a non-title fight, and Gaspar beat him for a 10-round fight, but the title was not on the line, and Perret would not give Gaspar a shot at the title. So then Griffith, about 10 years later, gave Gaspar a shot, but Gaspar had 80 fights, but he lost by technical knockout in the 11th round. And he lost another one by technical knockout against in Italy against a fighter named Sandro Mazzinghi. And it was the only 2 fights he ever been stopped in his whole career. He didn't get knocked out, he got cut, he got banged up, and the referee said, that's it. But 176 fights. I remember in 1965, for you fight fans out there watching, you will go to BoxRec, you can check it out. You can see Gaspar Indian Ortega from Tijuana, Mexico. In 1965, he had 29 fights in 1 year. Yeah, 29 fights. If you don't believe me, check out BoxRec. 29 fights, he was fighting like 2 or 3 times a week. And sometimes I would fight the same card with him, and he took me to Mexico to fight some professional fights over there. One day we were in Monterrey, Mexico, and Gaspar Ortega was a welterweight, and I had just turned pro. I won the national championships, Golden Glove championship, at 118-pounder. And Gaspar took me to spar with him. I was sparring with him in Monterrey, 5 rounds. And when we was sparring, and I was everything he taught me, and plus what I learned with Johnny Markel, my trainer at the Boys Club, and winning the Golden Glove championships, I learned a lot, how to hit, don't get hit. So I was constantly moving, hitting him. I would pop, jab, combination. And then as the 5 rounds were over, I had a towel around my neck. I walked back there to the dressing room, and Gaspar was right next to me. When we got inside the locker room, he grabbed the towel around my neck. He's trying to choke me. I said, what are you doing? He said, you son of a bitch. He said, I hear everything. I told you everything. You're making me look so bad out there.
My goodness.
And I said, I'm sorry, Gaspar. Okay, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. The next day, we spar again next day. I was just bobbing and weave. I was throwing a jab on his shoulder. I want to make him look good. 3,000 fans came to watch Gaspar Ortega train. And it was just that guy was a big hero in Mexico, even though he's not a world champion. But he was fighting all the big fights, the Friday night fights, Cavalcade Sports, and Gaspar Ortega was him and Emma Griffith for the most main event fights in Madison Square Garden. So I thank Gaspar Ortega for opening the doors for me. And of course, Pat Mascia, who planted the seed in my head about becoming a referee back in Puerto Rico when I was working at the El Conquistador Hotel. So Pat Mascia got me on the right track. He said, Joe, we need referees in New York. And I was moving back to New York. So in 77, when I got to New York, I moved to New York December 76. 77, I called him up and said, Pat, I'm here in New York. He said, Joe, I want to see you. I want to talk to you about something. We went for lunch. He said, Joe, I want you to start refereeing in the amateurs. I want you to be a referee. I said, referee? He said, yes. He called a guy named Johnny Defoe, who was the director of the Police Athletic League on Brooklyn Boulevard in the Bronx. And I went there, and I started working out. And he said, Joe, okay, I'm going to put you, sign you up for the Golden Gloves. I did a couple of small tournaments with 10, 11-year-old kids, but in the Golden Gloves were 16 and over. And I started refereeing those fighters. One night, a big snowstorm in New York, and there was no referee showed up in Brooklyn, New York. They had about 2 feet of snow, a big snowstorm, nobody showed up. One of the judges, some judges showed up, and I was the only referee. They had 27 fights. I ended up doing 27 fights all by myself that night.
Wow.
So they were novice fighters, so I had to stop some of them in 4 rounds, 2 rounds. But I had fun. Being in that ring, Shelley, is like dancing. I love moving around. I love moving around. And in the ring, that's what I did. Constantly moving. One day, Arthur McCandy, one of the best referees ever. I think to me, he was the dean of all referees ever. Arthur McCandy, who refereed Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, he refereed all the big fights. And he told me one day, Joe, you're moving too fast in that ring. You got to slow down a little bit. You're hopping too much. I said, okay, so I slowed down a little bit. He said, now you're doing good. So I kept that a little pace of just moving around, sliding around the ring, in and out. Zach Clayton, another referee from Philadelphia, used to referee the fights in Atlantic City. When we'd be up in the room getting ready for the fight, he said, Joe, I've been watching you, but I want you to be like a cat in the ring. I want you to jump here, jump there, in and out. Zach Clayton was a hell of a referee. He refereed the fight with Joe Frazier and, I'll take it back, it was George Foreman and Muhammad Ali in Africa. He was the referee for that. He was the referee that had the black and white striped shirt that they do for football. But he had like a type of shirt as a referee for that fight. I never forget. Zach Clayton was a hell of a good guy.
I can't believe you just mentioned that fight. My husband was there.
Yeah.
At Zaire.
Zaire,
He talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
See, we were meant to be friends. What can I say? We have so much in common. We've traveled paths in so many different ways.
Puerto Rico, when Muhammad Ali out there was fighting and Pierre and a British fighter, he was training at the El Hotel, and I was there. You were probably there, and your husband, Wesley, one of the, I call him the cowboy. He always got that cowboy hat on. I always asked him, Wesley, where's your horse? He said, I left at home. But anyway, we have a good time. We're going to Lolo's, watching you guys perform. They give you guys an opportunity to work 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
Not many individuals have a residency for 5 nights.
Yeah, it's
not
great.
Even Mark Anthony, J-Lo. I mean, these people that perform here, and you see they perform, and you guys are every night at Lola's.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Except Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, Mondays and Tuesdays are closed.
Well, you guys are so demands. The people just saying, you guys, you're so good. All kinds of music. The
Yeah, we
Motown
love all kinds of
and
music.
every other kind. People come up to you, can you sing this song for me? And you know what? But, TJ wants you to sing more happy.
I know, TJ is crazy.
She wants you to dance, and people be jumping.
Yeah.
But once in a while, people, they like nice romantic songs.
Thank you. I'm so happy you said this.
Because I love some romantic songs. That's why I would say, sing me that song that Whitney Houston.
I will always love you.
And there's another one.
Run to You. You like I Have Nothing. You like Celine Dion, the song from the Titanic, My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah.
You like In the Still of the Night. We love all the songs that you love. And that's why we're so happy that you're there. Normally every Saturday night he's there with his own little table. and he attracts so
once in a
many
while,
great
once in a
people.
while, I take the mic. I say a couple of things I want to say.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, I got the feeling inside of me when I see you guys perform. I say I got to say something to the audience.
And
there.
we welcome you up there
because
too.
people
Yeah.
just, I tell people, make your reservations. They're there Monday and Tuesday. They're closed.
Yep.
Every other day they're there. Make sure you make your reservations on time.
Yeah.
Make sure you get this. You're going to get a seat. You don't want to miss the show.
Yep.
You guys are outstanding.
TJ and Carlos are going to be our guests on the show. I'm not sure if it's next week or the week after, but they got stuff to promote about Lola's that's coming up. They're going to have a big crawfish boil outside in the yard and everything. It's going to be great.
So we'll talk about that when we get them on the show.
Sure will.
You know, Shirley, talking about entertainment and restaurants. Some of the best restaurants in the world are here in Nevada, in Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, you got all the hotels, you got so many fine restaurants, but you also got some good entertainment going on. But for the locals, and so many individuals from out of state, like there was a couple that came. I think Rick has a picture of the
Gladys and Henry.
Gladys and Henry, they came in.
Yeah.
Here they are.
Oh my goodness.
They came in from Florida.
They were so
I came to. They were at the table. I came to say hello to them. They were sitting by themselves at my little table.
Yeah.
And there was 3 seats there, and the guy said, "Sit down." I sat down with them, and they said, "You know, the young lady Gladys, she was so happy, and her husband, they were dancing away. Then at the end, she had to take the microphone. She said, I got to say something." So she started with the prayer.
Yes, she said a prayer, and she had she didn't make everybody get up, but everybody just got up and they gravitated towards her. We were all holding hands. We had tears running down our faces. She was so sweet and so sincere. She was blessing us, you, the people who work at Lola's, the customers who were there, and everybody was just so into it.
Even my grandson was sitting on the table.
Yes, exactly. Bryce was there as well.
His grandson, Joe's grandson back there.
Yeah, she blessed him too. That was so special. That was a night that we'll never forget. Oh my God, that was so great.
Yeah, we had a good time with them, and we hope to see them again in the near future.
Yeah.
Anybody comes in, people out there watching from out of town, from around the world, you come to Las Vegas, you got to come to Lola's. Lola's Cajun food restaurant. If you like the Louisiana type of food, Cajun food, the shrimps are good.
Oh God, yeah,
what else
the
do they have?
jambalaya. We got shrimp Creole. They have like oysters they fry right there on the grill.
Yeah, and the bread is great.
Oh yeah.
And they have the ice cream. For dessert, the pumpkin, not pumpkin. They have like
I can't remember, but I try not to eat the
It looks like a
dessert.
banana type of
Yeah, the
pudding.
banana pudding.
Yeah, it is great.
Yeah.
I mean, you go in there, you got to go in there with an empty stomach because you want to eat up the whole house when you're in there.
Absolutely, and that's how Gladys and Henry found out about us too. They were staying on the Strip. I don't even know if they had been to Vegas before, but they were asking the concierge, we want some home cooking, some Southern kind of food, what would you suggest? And he's the one who told them about Lola's.
Right.
So they got an Uber all the way from the Strip just to come to
You
Lola's.
got individuals from all over the world come to Las Vegas, and pretty soon everybody got to know about Lola because we help to talk about it. We love talking about Lola because every time you go there, it's like family.
It is. And after Wesley and I have been performing on cruise ships for 23 years, we know people from all over the world. And everybody comes to Vegas and they always hit us up and they're like, "Are you playing tonight?" We're like, "Yep." And so we get a lot of visitors there from Japan, from China, from Singapore. From so many different places, so many different countries. I love it.
They come in, they look you guys up. They know you're there. They see the show. Our show is just it's all worldwide. And people say, "Joe, that beautiful lady you got on your show, she got the most beautiful smile, and she's so kind." I said, "Well, that's the kind of people I like to hang around with. People that are kind, loving, and sincere. And that's how you are. That's why you're here with me."
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, yeah. And then last week we had a couple that came in and people just gravitate to us just like they do with you. It's like we bring out the kindness, the people who are very kind and loving like us. And they'll come out, and we were talking to them, and the girl was Chinese, and we told her we spent a lot of time, singing in Chinese. And she's like, "Oh, would you sing a song for me in Chinese?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Hadn't done it in a while, but I did it. I was surprised it came out okay. But, yeah.
Pretty soon you're going to have here the Chinatown here in Las Vegas. They're going to end up coming to Lola's.
Yeah.
They're going to try to bring some of that Chinese food and mix it with some of that Cajun food. but here, Chinatown, they have a Chinatown. It's really nice. I was there the other day. Last Saturday, I went there to meet a friend of mine, Mario Rodriguez. And he said, Joe, we're having something in Washington, D.C. Want you to come up for that in May. I said, I don't know, I'll see. You know, I'm not into politics. I'm trying to stay away from politics.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I want to just be loving with everybody.
Yes.
I love everybody.
Yeah.
I like the red. I like the blue. I love everybody. You know why? Because that's where we are. If you're a
right.
real person, you got to love everybody out there, not just a particular party.
Yeah.
Because we're loving people, Shirley, is so important. You know, like your husband, Wesley, you and me, Pete, TJ, and everybody goes to the restaurant. Everybody's always so sweet.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of people I love being
It
around.
is a very loving
You know,
place.
You know, I was helping a guy yesterday, a homeless guy, you know. Man, I used to feel so
I
sorry.
know, you were telling me
I
about
felt so bad. It
that.
was so hot out there 'cause the weather had pretty warm now. It's in the high 90s. And so the guy, I said, wait a minute, I got to go back. We bought some soda and some hamburgers and whatnot. He was so nice. Anyway, I just love helping people out like that. That's where we are, you know. That's what we all got to be. You're a guy out there watching. If you're for a real person, it's not about yourself. It's about helping other people out there. What we're doing here is not about us with the show. It's not about me or not about show. It's about you guys. That's why we do the show every week, to try to share our knowledge and wisdom to help you if you need any help, any guidance. I think we're here for you all the time. You want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on Facebook. You go to the Joe Cortez Show, or you want to just reach out to SJC7195 at AOL.com. You can reach me on that, and that's my email. And if you want to reach Shirley, how can they reach you, Shirley?
It's twice as nice, 189-144 at yahoo.com.
Okay, repeat that again.
Twice as nice, 189-144 at yahoo.com.
Okay, I like that twice a night, but I want to double that or triple it.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, we are 3 times as nice whenever we hang out. That's for sure.
Yeah. But that's the way we like to be, you know, with our people. People reach out to you, reach out to me. We're here to help you out. We're not saying we're the greatest. We're not the greatest, but you know what? We're hard to beat. We just try to help people out there. We're not going to be bragging about how great we are. We just love to help people out there. Well, Shirley, you know, that's one thing I liked about you and your husband. You guys are great, but you have to tell the people that people know how great you and your husband sing. I mean, I'm one of the guys. I think I'm your number one fan out there. And I love to when your husband gets on the piano, on the organ, and he starts singing the song. Man, I said, man, that man can sing. You see, people, if I take it out there, everybody feel me, They take it, they say, Joe, where do you meet these people? They're great, they're fantastic. Well, TJ recognized their talent. You say, you know, people are saying, you know, why don't you have those people perform here more often? Because once a week, Saturday night, one time.
Yeah, that's what it used to be, once a week.
And she said, no, we need them 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
Every night we're open, we want them in there. And there you are.
I know.
People out there watching, you must be jealous as hell because you can't get 5 nights a week the way they get 5 nights a week.
Oh my goodness. And then the people that come there, everybody, like I said, they're all treated like family. So they keep coming back and coming back. And we have the greatest staff in the world, all of our bartenders, waiters, Laurie, the hostess, we got Kelly, we got Lexi behind the bar. It's just a family.
Every time somebody walks by, either hug you or they kiss you.
Yep.
You know?
That's true.
I think we changed the place to love.
Yeah.
Love at Lola's.
Love at Lola's. That's what you get.
That's a new title. Love at Lola's.
Oh my goodness.
Because that's what you get there.
Yeah.
You know? You know, one thing about me is, Shirley, I'm very creative, as you well know.
Yeah, you are.
I come up with a lot of ideas.
Yes, you do.
Pretty soon they're going to be calling me the creator. Joe the creator. Because I like to create so many things. I have so many ideas. Later on, you're going to be surprised the things I'm going to be coming up with real soon. But I'm creating things, you know, and people say, Joe, you're over. Like last night, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I was taking notes, writing down, kept thinking, taking notes of things I want to be doing, you know. It's because I love to make things happen for the betterment of everybody out there, not just for myself. I want to do it because I want to make people feel special.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why you want to do things because you care for people, you love them. There's a lot of phonies out there, but a lot of good ones out there. a lot of good ones like you and I, and those people you just mentioned at Lola's. We got so many friends, and the circle of people I keep myself with are good, loving people. You know, like your people, your circle of people are good, loving people. That's what we want. We need that out there. I want all you guys to try to be the same way. It's easy. You know, if you believe in God, you pray to God, and there's God to help you, guide you in the right direction, to help you be the kind of people that we want you to be, loving and caring. Yeah. But anyway, Shelley, you know, again, talking about entertainment, you know, we got here in Las Vegas, it was known as the entertainment capital of the world. Then it became the boxing capital of the world because boxing and entertainment with that together. But now we got baseball coming in.
Yes.
The Oakland A's are coming in to Vegas. And now we got
girls'
2 days
basketball
two days
team,
ago,
yeah.
it was approved by the NBA. They approved for the basketball to be coming to Las Vegas.
Awesome.
We got hockey. Here in the desert, hard as it gets. We got these big ice skating rinks where they have the Golden Knights. They play there, and they've won a couple of championships already. And we are just boxing. We got MMA. We got all kinds of. We got tennis.
Yeah.
We got everything I had. You know, we had too much fishing because we're in the desert. But you want to go fishing, you got to go out to the take a 3-hour drive to L.A. and go fishing out there in San Diego or Los Angeles. But here in Las Vegas, you want to do something. I want to see horse racing here in Las Vegas. It gets too hot, but you know what? We make it seasonal. So I want to see horse racing come to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And that'd be good. People say, you know, Joe, that's not a bad idea. But, you know, the casinos may not like it because it's taken away from the betting. I said, no, some people want to go and see the real horses. And if you go to the casino, all they're betting on these all sports, basketball, baseball, horse racing, everything. I said, let's make horse racing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I talked to Joe Brown about it already. I talked to one of the ex-governors, Bob Liss, about it. He said, Joe, you know what? That's a hell of an idea. I think we're going to do that.
Good.
Let's get some people together and we'll do horse racing in Las Vegas. That'd be amazing.
Good. Yeah.
You know? So we got all sports out here in Vegas. We got all entertainment, actors, singers, plenty of singers.
Yep. The food, everything.
Yeah, food. The hotels
everything.
are nice. The living is nice.
Yeah.
You know, I should be promoting. I should be working for a tourism department.
You should.
Tourism department. You know, last year we got, our numbers were a little low last year. We got 45 million tourists. You know, people say, that's low. Well, it was 50 the year before. It went down, you know, had peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
But Las Vegas really a place where people want to come. You mentioned Las Vegas, people say, wow, you live in Las Vegas?
I
Wow,
know.
that place is so popular. And that's where we want people to come to Las Vegas and watch all the great shows and meet people like you, Wesley, and myself,
Yeah.
and all the celebrities that are here all the time. We got a lot of celebrities that show up to Lola's every so often.
Yeah.
We got a couple of football players that come there.
Yes.
Besides my grandson, Bryce Hampton.
That's right.
We
Got
that.
Bryce,
We
we got Odessa Turner. He comes there all the time.
He was playing with, what team was he playing with? Anyway, I'm not
I
much.
don't know. 49ers.
He was the 49ers, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. He showed me a couple of rings that he had.
Yeah.
The championship rings. I said, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I said, you want to see a ring? I showed him my Hall of Fame boxing ring for the International Hall of Fame. He said, that's a good one too, you know. I said, but it's not as fancy as yours with all those diamonds you got to do. When I got my ring with Sylvester Stallone and Mike Tyson and Chavez, first Sylvester Stallone said, hey, Joe, we got to put a little bit more bling bling to these rings. We need more diamonds on them. But anyway,
I like
but that's
that.
the way it is. You know, our show here, again, like we said, every week, every Friday, we do a show to talk about different things in life. We're not here to knock anybody. We're here to get back people with harmony, bring people together. It is what the show is all about.
Yeah.
Shirley and Joe Cortez, we do it.
Yes, we do.
The knockout punch, the 1-2 punch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Keep your guards up all the time, guys. We'll catch you next week. I'm fair, but I'm firm. Here's my undisputed champion, Shirley Stevens,
Woohoo.
Joe Cortez. Touch him up.